10 things you didn't know about North Korea. Welcome to the Explore and thanks for watching. As you all know, it's always a pleasure presenting to you some interesting facts about the beautiful countries in the world. In this video, we shall be talking about one of the most controversial countries in the world, North Korea. North Korea is a country in East Asia constituting the northern part of the Korean peninsula, with Pyongyang as its capital and the largest city in the country. To the north and northwest, the country is bordered by China and by Russia, along the Amnok known as the Yalu in Chinese and Tumen rivers. And to the south, it is bordered by South Korea, with the heavily fortified Korean demilitarized zone separating the two. Nevertheless, North Korea, like its southern counterpart, claims to be the legitimate government of the entire peninsula and adjacent islands. This Korean-speaking country has a population estimated at 25.5 million people who live in a total area of 120,540 square kilometers. With a GDP of about $30 billion and a GDP per capita of $1,300, it uses the Korean People's Won as the official currency. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. A 2014 UN inquiry into human rights in North Korea concluded that the gravity and scale of nature of these violations reveal a state that does not have any parallel in the contemporary world. The North Korean regime denies these allegations and many more. There are so many things we may not know about North Korea. Hence, here are the 10 things you probably didn't know about North Korea. Number 1. North Koreans have 28 sanctioned haircut designs. Men have only 10. Apparently, one of the most surprising laws in North Korea is that there are a restricted number of haircuts you are allowed to choose from. Apparently, there are only 28 hairstyles which are legal in the country. Men can choose from 10 different types of short hairstyles, while women are free to choose from 18. Married women, however, can have only short hair, while single women can let their hair grow to a certain length. Number 2. Elections take place every 5 years but only have one option. Strange as it might seem for a dictatorship to hold elections, North Korean citizens go to the polls every 5 years. However, the ballots they receive only list one candidate's name for the office of Supreme People's Assembly Deputy in their district, according to The Economist. The only decision the voters have to make is whether to vote for the sole candidate listed or to vote against them, which involves placing their ballot in a separate box from the postal vote and having their identity noted, which could be considered an act of treason, The Economist reports. Number 3. Marijuana in North Korea is not illegal and can be bought at markets. North Korea is known to be one of the most conservative countries in the world with very rigid laws, which is why the fact that marijuana is legalized and not even classified as a drug in North Korea is all the more surprising. The so-called leaf tobacco is not even considered a drug at all, and it grows freely in the country and can often be seen growing freely alongside roads. Smoking marijuana is considered normal, and catching the scent while walking the streets is quite normal. It is particularly known to be popular amongst young soldiers in the North Korean military. Number 4. Owning a Bible may be punishable by death. In North Korea, 10,000 people, including women and children, were ordered to go to Chingpong Stadium and witness the execution of 80 people tied to stakes with sacks over their heads and executed by machine guns. This was one of the numerous public executions which took place in North Korea and sent 80 people to their death. The executed people were charged with crimes of viewing South Korean movies, owning Bibles, and seeking services from prostitutes. There is an organization that parachutes copies of the Bible into North Korea. Although the Bible is banned in North Korea, believers still find a way to get themselves a copy. Bibles are being distributed by defectors of North Korea in South Korea via the Bible balloons. The balloons have an imperative mark, the shortest of the Gospels, and whenever the wind allows it, they are sent over the border into North Korea. The balloons have holes in them which enable them to deflect after a certain calculated distance. Guards at the border are required to shoot down the balloons and arrest anyone that can be associated to it. Number 5. North Korea's leader killed his own uncle. In 2013, North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un killed his own uncle by throwing him naked into a cage full of 120 hungry previously starved dogs. Kim Jong-un's uncle, Jin Sung-tae, who was Vice Chairman National Defense Commissioner, was considered a counter-revolutionary after being proclaimed a traitor. he was stripped of all his posts, expelled from the Workers' Party of Korea, and his image was literally erased, with photos of him being removed from the official media and his presence digitally erased from all photographs with other public officials. Kim Jong-un is also known for his brutality, and the fact that the traitor was his family didn't make him consider the punishment. Jin and all his followers were stripped naked and fed alive to starving dogs. This brutal execution was watched by hundreds of officials. Number 6. North Korea is home to the world's largest stadium. Not only is the DPRK home to the biggest stadium in the world in terms of seating capacity, but it holds that distinction by a massive margin. The Rogrado 1st of May Stadium, also known as May Day Stadium, has a total capacity of 150,000 people. It dwarfs the next largest stadium, which is Ann Arbor's Michigan Stadium, which accommodates 107,600 people. The venue is used for occasional sporting events, but its primary purpose is to host the annual Arirang Festival, a massive affair held each August and September that celebrates North Korean history, culture, and achievements. Number 7. North Korea ranks 51st in population, but has one of the largest standing militaries. CIA data ranks North Korea's estimated 25 billion person population 51st out of the world's nations. North Korea's outsized military is among the most powerful in the world, boasting approximately 1,190,000 active duty troops according to the Newsweek. China, the world's leader in both population of over 1.3 billion and military size of 2.3 million, has a military that employs about 0.18% of the population. North Korea's military, on the other hand, employs about 4.7% of the total population. CIA data ranks North Korea's estimated 25 million person population as 51st of the world's most populated nations. Number 8. North Korea has its own internet. Kwangyong is North Korea's internet, available for the browsing of Kim fan pages by the North Korean people. It is not connected to the internet because, well, if you made it this far in the list, I don't really need to explain why. Kwangyong has email, news and electronic library, and scrubbed science material from the world media. The official internet presence of North Korea wants you to know that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is a genuine worker state in which all the people are completely liberated from exploitation and oppression. The workers, peasants, soldiers and intellectuals are the true masters of their destiny and are in a unique position to defend their interests. Number 9. North Korean prison camps are similar to the Holocaust death camps. North Korean prisons have been under serious scrutiny, and the UN Human Rights Council established an international commission which looked into the truth of North Korea's prison camps. A number of disturbing testimonies from former prisoners have been collected, and they all assert the fact that the labor camps are death camps largely resembling the ones established during World War II. Inhuman conditions characterize these prisons, as prisoners are starved, tortured and usually beaten and deprived of medication or basic necessities such as warm clothing or proper food rations. The prisoners, who are largely brought in on suspicion of being against the regime or being associated with someone who might be against it, are not able to survive such harsh conditions for long, and their corpses are disposed and eaten by dogs. If one person violates the law or is sent to a prison camp, it affects their whole family, as it is not only you who gets punished, but your entire family. 3 entire generations of the criminal's family will be in prison, as it is believed that attitudes and disloyalty are carried down the bloodline. These prisoners are overcrowded and starved and are generally referred to as death camps. Number 10. North Korea built Kijong-dong just for propaganda. In the 1950s, North Korea built Kijong-dong, a nice city visible from the border, to encourage South Koreans to come over, but it is actually a ghost town. For the purpose of keeping up appearances, North Korea ordered the creation of the town. It is actually an uninhabited village at the border of North Korea, built to look quite marvelous when viewed from the border, with the roofs up the buildings being the prominent marker, just to show the world that the country is prosperous. Meanwhile, in reality, it is empty. Built to lure South Korean defectors to come into the country and to show an image of prosperity to the world, that the people of North Korea have high living standards and are happy. Talk of propaganda. There you have it, explorers. Those were the top 10 things you didn't know about North Korea. Thanks for watching this video. If you want us to cover any of your top 10 topics, leave a suggestion in the comments and we will do well to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy this video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.